Lockdown day 17. I forgot to do that. Sorry. Take two. Lockdown day 17. Oh dear. We're out of practice because we didn't do one yesterday.
Binge watching a series.
Yeah. So yesterday we've been watching Breaking Bad, but yesterday we had how many episodes left? 7 or something?
Yeah, we just did it all.
And it was
about
like
45 minutes an episode.
Yeah, some of them were even an hour. And we just thought let's just do this because kind of it was picking up speed towards the end, the story, it was just getting super intense. So before I knew it, we had watched through lunchtime and quickly had a small break for supper and then finished it at 10 last night. So there was no vlog because that was what our day was, binge watching Breaking Bad. What a series. It was brilliant. Anyway, so today we didn't binge watch anything. Okay, so I've just gotten up the new number of cases. There are 2,173 cases, which is an increase of 145 since the previous reported cases. So that's probably the biggest increase we've had. And to date, they have conducted 80,000 tests, which is well below what they're supposed to have. What are they supposed to have done?
They're supposed to do 12,000. Well, NHS said they can do 12,000 tests a day, and it works out to about 207,000 tests thus far.
So they're slightly behind, I would say. They said in the past day they've done 5,000 tests. So if they're supposed to be doing 12 and they've done 5...
Yeah, they're halfway. That's just since lockdown.
And that's why our numbers are increasing so slowly. It's not because people are not infected, it's because they're not being tested. And then some of the testers we heard were given the weekend off. It's like we're in the middle of this massive pandemic, this huge crisis.
We're losing, 12 billion a day or something?
Yes, some per day.
I think JP Morgan or one of those companies.
Per day of lockdown, and they get the weekend off. What?
It is
long
insane.
Weekend, eh?
People are losing jobs, they're losing their livelihoods.
Yeah, and they get
companies.
But the testers get the long weekend off.
For years because of this lockdown, and it's all because we're sacrificing for the greater good.
Yes.
Of the population, the health of the population. But when the people who are instituting the lockdown and the only people who therefore can do these things, such as testing and getting this virus under control, take a long weekend off, it really grinds my gears.
Yeah, no, that's just insane. We can't afford that.
No,
not financially, but not health-wise either. We can't afford to mess around.
No, I was all for the second lockdown, but more and more, I'm starting to. And by the way, I will show you a clip right now. Our police minister today. Interestingly enough, I don't know if you got the memo, but he's not wearing his mask.
Oh, yes.
Correctly.
Yeah.
Have a look.
How's this mask? Awesome, right?
Yeah.
And then also there was that thing where those people were going to a mall to be tested.
Oh, yes. So there was a lack of communication between government and the SANDF and the police force. So these people had rocked up like good Samaritans to the mall to be tested. They were standing in queues, and obviously it was creating a bit of congestion, minus social distancing. And the police force and the army rocked up there, and they dispersed these people. So, severely, they used force to disperse these people. And it turns out they were all there to be tested, which was opened by government. You can come get testing here.
Yeah.
And they wondered why nobody's coming for testing. So there's just this lack of communication between the executive and the legislature, which is non-functioning at the moment. Sorry, Parliament is non-functioning at the moment. You have the legislature, which is this command council, and they're just running everything with no oversight from Parliament, which is something that really needs to change. Because we don't want to go back to, parliamentary sovereignty. Or, Parliament, so I'm not sure, but that's the term. We want a separation of powers. And in order, even in times like this, especially in times like this, or you have abuses, we need oversight over this command council. And Parliament needs to come back. The DA was fighting for that.
Yeah.
And I'm very behind that. I don't ever think you should have one power to rule them all. It's very dangerous. bit of a political rant there, but yeah.
Anyway, I think we're both feeling a bit disgruntled that
You can
this
see.
process. Yeah, this process. I mean, the idea is good. The lockdown makes sense, but if testing is not going to happen at speed with forward momentum and determination, if people are not communicating properly so that people who arrive to get tested are, I don't know, tear gassed or whatever and sent away, if testers get weekends off, long weekends off, when there's like for us a sense of urgency, not just from a health perspective but from a financial perspective too, it becomes hard to justify supporting this if this is how it's handled, actually. Yeah. So yeah, we both feel a little disgruntled.
One more thing. Businesses.
You always do that.
Businesses were allowed to. Were given this.
Oh yes.
Swift relief package. What was called Swift. Okay, it's been 17 days since this package was announced. Actually, it was announced before. It was announced 4 days or 3 days before, when they've initially announced lockdown. And many of these small businesses, SMNEs they call them, have approached the government in order to use this relief, to at least gain some of this relief. And over 93% of them have been turned down because they don't fulfill the certain qualifications to apply for this. One of them is BE, which is a movement. You can Google it. I'm not going to go into details here. Which I think is a completely irrelevant movement in a time like crisis like this. We should all be looking out for each other, regardless of race, sex, whatever it is. The other thing is the people who have managed, the 7% who have managed to gain access to these funds, have yet to receive any payment. So it's just the swift, action, decisive, these words that were Saraposa, I'm sure he had the intentions to. These words that he threw around, unfortunately, are not being actualized or realized.
Yeah.
So we're stuck in this situation where people are really, really suffering.
Yeah.
Not because of the virus.
No, at this point not.
Nobody's actually suffering because of the virus.
At the moment, the suffering is because of the lockdown, because it's been manhandled, because it's been handled so badly.
Yeah. And
mishandled,
with the economic complete damage. And the poor are getting hit the worst. They're going to all lose their jobs. And
so,
I don't see how they can recover from this. It's just horrible and it's stressing me out. Anyway.
Yeah. So today is a bit of a gloomy one. But that's where we're at. I've had a Zoom chat with Casey this evening. She's happy and healthy. Well, I mean, frustrated at being locked down, but healthy. That's the main thing at this point, is that
and we're
all
healthy.
healthy. Yes, we are.
I love my lovey-dovey.
I love you too. So we're healthy and we're fine, and kids are fine. So these are the important things for us.